What up, everybody? This is your boy DJ Mixmaster, and welcome back to Soul Calibur 3. So, last video we ended up doing Tale of Souls for Yoshimitsu, and we were so close, but one loss took us off the path. Anywho, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next soul, and that is the second of three new characters that are new to the roster, and so we're gonna be doing I shouldn't say that, but we'll be doing Tales of Souls with Setsuka. So we're gonna go ahead and get started.
Scatter and die.
Setsuka had no family and was not of Japanese descent. Persecuted for her background, she fled from place to place and became a drifter at a young age. A man took her in, showing her kindness and teaching her the art of Batojutsu. To Setsuka, that man was both her teacher and her father, and he became the most important person in her life. Over a decade had passed until one day their peaceful existence suddenly came to an end. The man faced off against Heishiro Mitsurugi, and the wounds the man suffered in that fight eventually led to his death. Before his grave, Setsuka realized the love she had felt for her teacher and vowed revenge against Mitsurugi. She learned that if she pursued a swordsman by the name of Nightmare, she would also find Mitsurugi, but there was someone who sought to stop Setsuka from following the trail. Alright, so to start, episode 1 at the underground sanctum. It seemed that Mitsurugi was traveling the world in search of a sword called Soul Edge. The information Setsuka found in Japan told her only that a man known as the Azure Knight had the sword in the distant land of Europe. As she made plans to cross the sea and travel the world, a woman appeared before her. The woman asked Setsuka if she intended to pursue Soul Edge. When Setsuka answered yes, the woman immediately drew her blade.
Her shadow moves with stealth and disappears into darkness.
My life is not yours for the taking. Well, at least your stance is correct. Ha!
Versus Taki. Fight!
Too slow!
Ring out. You win.
The fight was decided even before I drew my blade.
Alright, Setsuka fought off the sudden attack. Had this woman viewed people searching for Soul Edge as a threat? But the voice that might answer that question was already gone. Setsuka headed for the port and set out into the world. She crossed the sea and arrived on the mainland. Mitsurugi should be headed for Europe in search of Soul Edge. In order to locate him and avenge her master, Setsuka began the journey to Europe. Alright, so we can either travel by land or by sea. So we're gonna go ahead and travel by land. As Setsuka headed west along the Silk Road, she began to hear rumors about sightings of a bizarre, lizard-like warrior. Judging from the content of the rumors, it seems she had wound up following its trail. Did this monster really exist? Dubious, she continued on her way. Suddenly, an inhuman cry reached her ears, and she reflexively reached for her blade.
The cursed one bears its fangs to the god that has forsaken it.
Let's see what you can do.
Versus Lizard Man. Fight!
Scatter and die! Get ready! End of the line! Block! Descent! End of the line!
You win!
The fight was decided even before I drew my blade.
Alright, next. The remainder of Setsuka's journey to Europe was uneventful. She began gathering information as soon as she arrived, but there were no rumors of any swordsman like Mitsurugi. When she moved on to investigating Soul Edge, a man who claimed to be knowledgeable about Soul Edge appeared before her. As she headed for the clock tower as he had instructed, she began to feel uneasy. Didn't it seem a bit too convenient?
Do not involve yourself with that sword if you wish to live. I shall have to kill you if you continue. You're better than I expected. Your skills are quite impressive.
I have no choice but to draw my sword.
Versus Zasalamel. Fight!
Playtime.
You win!
Fear me, for I am a demon.
The sword? What do you know about Soul Edge? I place my curse upon you, warrior from the Far East. Without answering her question, the man with the scythe melted away into the shadows. He was a mystery, but this much was certain. He was testing those who sought Soul Edge. Alright, so we can either ignore him or try to follow him. Alright. We're going to go ahead and follow him. Setsuka pursued the trail of the man with the scythe, but she soon lost him completely. All that remained were the man's words, echoing in the empty air. The Azure Knight Nightmare has arisen once more and now wanders in search of the power he has lost. If you desire Soul Edge, then seek him out. A gust of wind blew away the man's words, leaving only Setsuka behind. Alright, so either search for the Azure Knight or investigate Soul Edge in detail. We are going to go ahead and investigate Soul Edge. As Setsuka researched Soul Edge in detail, she learned of a man who had dedicated his life to seeking Soul Edge. The man, a wealthy Italian merchant, had considered Soul Edge to be the greatest treasure of all time, and Mitsurugi apparently viewed it as the ultimate weapon. Just what was Soul Edge? With this question on her mind, she headed for the merchant's tomb in search of any information he might have left behind.
In search of the cursed blade, he wanders the world in silence.
Don't even dare think that this will be easy.
Versus Voldo. Fight!
Too slow.
Knockout.
Ah, no! Ah. I always hate facing Voldo, damn it.
I guess you don't care if you live.
Versus Voldo. Fight! You win!
You must fight to live. That's all there is to it.
Setsuka defeated the Guardian of the Tomb and began to explore the treasure trove. She soon found notes left behind by the man during his lifetime, but they were unfortunately too old to be of use. She left the island and continued gathering information. She heard a rumor of a city in Eastern Europe that had fallen into chaos and was now surrounded by armies. According to the rumors, Soul Edge was involved in the chaos afflicting the city. She headed for Eastern Europe.
How foolish of you to anger me. Welcome. Let us celebrate your demise. You'd better make this worth my while. Versus Raphael. Fight! Nice try!
Get ready!
You win!
Let the wounds from my blade be your demise.
Alright, next. She searched for Soul Edge in this land, but found no sign of the sword. It seemed information had been false. Eventually, Setsuka decided to stop searching in Europe. The Azure Knight had not been seen recently either, and had likely left Europe. Mitsurugi too may have left the continent in search of Soul Edge. Setsuka traveled the world and eventually arrived at a temple ruined deep inside Asia.
Her enemies fall as she attacks with her soul behind every strike.
Don't expect any pity. I will never lose!
Versus Son Mina. Fight!
Too slow! Too slow! End of it! End of the line! Scatter it!
You lose.
You won't win if you hesitate.
9.
This had better be worth my time. Listen up. This fight's mine.
Versus Son Mina. Fight!
Die! Too slow! Dodge! Too slow! End of the line! Too slow!
You win.
The fight was decided even before I drew my blade.
As she traveled the world, she came to believe that perhaps Soul Edge was a cursed sword. That would explain why the Azure Knight had been at the center of a storm of catastrophes. The temple had been filled with evil energy. Perhaps the cursed sword also emitted this sort of evil energy. Setsuka returned to civilization where she heard rumors of a warrior boasting he would destroy Soul Edge. Could it be Mitsurugi? Either it could or it couldn't. Let's go ahead and search for the warrior in question. Setsuka soon located the warrior, but she was told that he had been holed up inside the ruins of a giant labyrinth for some time. Many people had lost their way in the labyrinth and never been seen again. The local people tried to stop her from going there for her own sake. It seemed the warrior was not Mitsurugi, but there was also a rumor that a man matching Mitsurugi's description had entered the labyrinth. If her sworn enemy was in there, then she had only one option.
He lives only to challenge his own strength.
If it's a fight you want, you shall have it.
Don't let your guard down, or you'll die.
Versus Mitsurugi. Fight!
Too slow!
Knockout. You lose.
Name's Mitsurugi. Remember it.
9, 8.
So you really want to die, don't you?
Time to meet your maker.
Versus Mitsurugi. Fight! You win!
My sword is the only thing I have left.
The man she met in the labyrinth was the target of her revenge, Heishiro Mitsurugi. The fierce battle ended with Setsuka's victory. When she moved to finally take her revenge, he struggled away with the last of his strength and disappeared into darkness. Setsuka chased after him, but she lost him in the labyrinth. Setsuka considered her situation. Her food was running low, and she was worn out. Proceed further in. As she proceeded further in, the air grew thicker. For a while now, she had been feeling as if someone was following her, and that feeling made her all the more nervous. A few moments later, her pursuer suddenly began to radiate a powerful fighting spirit.
The Almighty Ones have granted you a sword to cut your own path.
My life is not yours for the taking.
This is your last chance to mend your ways.
Oh crap, it's Arthur.
Versus Unknown Soul. Fight!
Let's go!
You win!
Stand up. I will cut you down as many times as you wish.
Just like Mitsurugi, the enemies she encountered in the labyrinth were all highly experienced. Just how powerful was the man who was said to reside here? How deep did this labyrinth go? She wasn't even sure if she was heading for the center anymore, but there was nothing to do now but to keep going. Setsuka safely returned from the labyrinth and learned that Mitsurugi had left his land. Did he too have a goal he must complete before he died? In order to find Mitsurugi, she once again pursued the cursed sword. Perhaps her persistent information gathering had paid off, for she succeeded in picking up the trail and arrived at a cathedral in a remote area. Inside the cathedral, she discovered the collapsed body of Mitsurugi. What had happened here?
I'm impressed that you made it this far. Not bad at all. My dream is about to be realized. You, however, are not worthy of witnessing this glorious moment. Leave this place at once.
Versus Zasalamel. Fight! You lose.
Finally, everything will come to an end.
9.
Let's see what you can do.
Very well. This should be interesting.
Versus Zasalamel. Fight!
Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me.
Everything will come to an end.
9.
Don't even dare think that this will be easy.
Versus Zasalamel. Fight! You win!
Curse your weakness.
Impressive. I did not expect such power. But I did not come all this way just to die here.
Versus Abyss. Fight! Ring out! You win!
You want more? Hurry up and get back up here. I have no need for something like this. What do you intend to do with that? What are you intending to do with that? So it's revenge. I won't ask your reasons, but you should cast away your sword. Long ago, I shared the same lust for vengeance as you do now. But that will not make anyone happy, including yourself.
Alright, y'all. So, that was the Tale of Souls for Setsuka. And with that, I believe it's a good place to take a break. Next video, we'll move on to the next soul. So, like and comment on the video. Subscribe for more gameplay. And with that, see ya. Peace.